Welcome back to another episode of the Kick-Off Discussion Podcast, your ultimate destinations for all things football. I am Mr. Balogun. If you are new to my channel, do subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell for quick and timely updates. Thank you very much. Well, it's an exciting midweek for the top three teams, and the title race is getting more and more entertaining. Yes, today we will be analyzing and discussing about the matches that was played by the top three teams, and I will slightly mention the game that was played against Chelsea and Manchester United yesterday night. It was a dramatic game. Well, Arsenal won 2-0 against Luton Town, while Manchester City shattered Aston Villa, and Liverpool also won against Sheffield United to maintain their lead at the top of the table. Yes, for Arsenal, well, Arteta actually shake things up for his team where he introduced five players to his starting lineup. The likes of Thomas Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe, Zinchenko, Reece Nelson, and Trossard all started the game for Arsenal, and they set up in a 4-3-3 system. Well, they all started the game very brightly, and they pressured Luton defense from the first minute of the game. They also passed the ball very quick and with fluidity and precision, and they constantly pressure Luton Town, which eventually gave them the 2 goals in the first half. Well, defensively, Arsenal was excellent, and they quickly closed down spaces to reclaim the ball whenever they give it away to retain the perfect control of the game in the first half. They stayed very compact to disrupt Luton's strategy. And for Luton Town actually came into the game to actually absorb the pressure in the opening stage of the game as much as they could, which they did very well in the first 20 minutes of the game, but they couldn't keep the free scoring Arsenal at bay, and their plan was to hit Arsenal on counter attack through set pieces from the flank. Well, they successfully done that with some crosses into the box from Andros Townsend, but the Arsenal defense were too good and brilliant to deal with those crosses decisively. And in the midfield, the likes of Thomas Partey was great. You couldn't even. The only thing that was missing about him is he was a bit sluggish in the midfield, but his passing ability was superb throughout the game till he was substituted. And for Odegaard was instrumental to connecting Arsenal's defense with the attack, and oftentimes he dropped deep, into deep areas to receive the ball for quick transition to the attack. And for Emil Smith-Rowe, it was a man of the match performance from him. He played absolutely well in that game, and he shows Arsenal what they have been missing and what they will get from him if they actually keep him in the squad for a long time. And I will be happy to actually see him fit so that he will not miss much game in the next coming games. Well, however, they couldn't replicate their dominance in the second half, and Luton have a good control of the game but couldn't get anything out of it. Well, they did as be done in the first half, and Arsenal actually walked away with 2 goals at the end of the game. Well, I would say Arsenal played well, but they actually lose the control of the game in the second half, which they should be careful of, because if it had to be a big team that has good attacking players, they will actually cause Arsenal some problems. Well, moving on to Manchester City versus Aston Villa. Well, I expect Man City to actually win the game, but Aston Villa was actually a pain for them, and they actually caused them some problems. But once this game started, they show high level of resilience, but that only lasted for a few moments in the match, and as Manchester City completely shattered their defense to get 4 goals at the end of the game. And Phil Foden Actually, he got his third Premier League hat-trick in the process. And for Aston Villa, their defense was tight after they conceded the first goal, but City completely unlocked their defense and pummeled them with lots of goals. Well, Aston Villa's substitute couldn't even do anything to salvage the game. For them, as they were not as productive as their manager thought they would be, because the damage has already been done. Because if you couldn't defend well against Manchester City, there is no way Manchester City will not score, especially when they are at home. Well, and lastly, for Liverpool and Sheffield United, well, Liverpool stuck to their normal formation, 4-3-3 formation, and they only have a single change in the team that played against Brighton. Gravenberch actually came in for to replace Wataru Endo, and I don't know what actually happened to him, because he wasn't in the list for that game. And for Sheffield United used a 5-3-2 system, which means they want to defend with more men around the box against Liverpool to stop them. But I would commend them, because the formation and their defensive setup was quite effective to limit Liverpool to just shooting from outside the box, and with a single goal in the first half. They also got a goal from a cross into the Liverpool's box, which actually caused an own goal from Conor Bradley. Well, however, Liverpool unlocked Sheffield United defense and break them on quick counter attacks in the 77th minute and 90th minute with goals from Gakpo and McAllister respectively. Well, Joe Gomez on the other hand, his role was quite different in that game, as he drifted into the midfield oftentimes to overload the midfield area, so that Liverpool will have more men in the midfield and can counter and pressure Sheffield United the more, and pressure Sheffield United very well. Quick analysis I see from the game. Well, Liverpool eventually retained their lead in the Premier League, and they actually did well to unlock Sheffield United's defense. Well, as for Manchester United and Chelsea, that game was total chaos yesterday, honestly speaking. And for me, when Man United scored the third goal, in my mind I believed the game is over. But luckily for Chelsea, they had a penalty in the dying minute of the game, and they eventually scored the winner through Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has been an outstanding signing for Chelsea so far this season. If you take Cole Palmer out of that team, I believe Chelsea will be nowhere near where they are right now. But I will actually come out with a video about Cole Palmer himself, because he is an outstanding addition to that Chelsea squad this season, and he has done excellently well to keep them in that position and to actually give them something throughout the season. Well, I commend his efforts, and for a young guy to actually be that important to that squad, well, it means a lot. That will be all for today, and I will be bringing you more updates about the title race, and I will specifically do a video about Cole Palmer and the reason why he is an outstanding addition to that Chelsea squad. I will see you soon in another episode of the Kickoff Discussion podcast. I am Yusuf Okbemi Balogun. Until next time, bye for now.